government-owned spyware found on the phones of Mexican journalists.
They were using to spy on journalists, they were using to spy on politicians, and in defenders of human rights.
Imagine someone reading every text you send, listening to every call you make, watching through your camera, recording through your microphone, tracking everywhere you go, accessing every photo, every email, every password, and you would never know. This isn't a hypothetical dystopian future.
It can access every message you've ever received. It can access every photo, every video, every email.
This is happening right now to journalists, to activists, to politicians, to lawyers, to you, potentially. Because there's a piece of software that can turn your phone into a weapon against you. And it's being sold to governments around the world with no oversight, no accountability, and no limits. This is Pegasus, the most powerful spyware ever created. And today, you're going to learn how an Israeli tech company became the weapon of choice for dictators hunting the people who dare to speak truth to power. Pegasus isn't malware you accidentally download. It's not a virus you get from clicking a suspicious link. This is military-grade surveillance technology that can infect your phone without you doing anything at all. Zero-click exploitation. That's what they call it. You don't have to click anything. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to make a mistake. One moment, your phone is secure. The next moment, it's completely compromised. And you'll never know the difference. It can read your WhatsApp messages before they're encrypted, it can turn on your microphone and camera remotely, it can track your location in real time, it can steal your passwords, access your bank accounts, and read your emails. It has complete access to everything on your device. And the company that created it, they've sold it to governments in over 45 countries, for $8 million per installation plus $650,000 in annual fees. And they promise one thing: total surveillance, total control, total invisibility. Welcome to the world of NSO Group. NSO Group was founded in 2010 by 3 former Israeli intelligence officers. Their pitch was simple: governments need tools to fight terrorism and crime. Pegasus would be that tool. A weapon that could track the most dangerous criminals and terrorists without them ever knowing. They marketed it as a solution for national security, for protecting citizens, for stopping threats before they materialize. And governments lined up to buy it. Mexico, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, India, Hungary, Morocco, Bahrain. Over 45 countries became clients. NSO claimed they had strict controls. They said Pegasus would only be used against criminals and terrorists. They said they vetted every client. They said they monitored how it was used. They lied. In 2018, a Saudi journalist named Jamal Khashoggi walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. He never walked out. He was murdered, dismembered, and his body was never found. The order came from the highest levels of the Saudi government. But here's what most people don't know. Before his murder, Khashoggi's phone had been infected with Pegasus. The Saudi government had been reading his messages, listening to his calls, tracking his movements. They knew who he was talking to, what he was planning to publish, where he would be. Pegasus didn't kill Jamal Khashoggi, but it helped his killers find him, and he wasn't alone. In Mexico, at least 25 journalists were targeted with Pegasus. At least 12 of them were later murdered. In Morocco, journalist Omar Radi's phone was infected. In India, journalists covering government corruption found Pegasus on their devices. The pattern was clear. NSO Group wasn't selling to governments fighting terrorists. They were selling to governments hunting journalists. But journalists weren't the only targets. Activists, lawyers, and human rights defenders became victims too. In the United Arab Emirates, human rights activist Ahmed Mansour spent years documenting abuses by the government. In 2016, he received a text message. He didn't click it, but Pegasus infected his phone anyway through a zero-click exploit. Everything he was working on, every source he was protecting, every conversation he had, compromised. He was arrested shortly after. He's now serving a 10-year prison sentence in solitary confinement. In Mexico, 3 women who worked with survivors of a toxic spill were targeted with Pegasus. In Spain, Catalan independence activists had their phones infected. In Poland, opposition politicians were surveilled by their own government using Pegasus. NSO Group claimed this wasn't supposed to happen. They said these were misuses of their technology. They said they would investigate. They said they would shut down clients who abused the system. But the targeting continued because NSO Group was never interested in stopping misuse. They were interested in profits, and business was booming. In 2021, everything changed. A consortium of journalists called Forbidden Stories obtained a leaked list, over 50,000 phone numbers, all of them potential targets of Pegasus surveillance. The list included journalists, activists, lawyers, politicians, and even heads of state. Emmanuel Macron, the President of France. His phone was on the list. So were phones belonging to Pakistan's Prime Minister, South Africa's President, and Iraq's President. When forensic analysis was done on phones from the list, the results were undeniable. Pegasus infections were confirmed on devices belonging to journalists from the Financial Times, CNN, the New York Times, Al Jazeera, and dozens of other outlets. This wasn't a counter-terrorism tool. This was a weapon for state surveillance of anyone governments wanted to monitor, intimidate, or silence. The revelations triggered investigations worldwide. The US placed NSO Group on a trade blacklist. Apple sued them. Meta sued them. Human rights organizations filed complaints in multiple countries. But NSO Group's response? They denied wrongdoing. They claimed they couldn't control how clients used their technology. They said they were just providing tools for legitimate law enforcement, the same defense every weapons dealer has used throughout history. Here's what makes Pegasus truly terrifying. You can't protect yourself. Normal cybersecurity advice doesn't work here. Use strong passwords. Doesn't matter. Enable two-factor authentication. Doesn't help. Keep your software updated. Pegasus exploits zero-day vulnerabilities, security flaws that even Apple and Google don't know about yet. NSO Group spends millions buying these vulnerabilities on the black market. They're called 0 days because software companies have 0 days to fix them before they're exploited. NSO Group stockpiles them, keeping security holes open so Pegasus can slip through. And when Apple or Google discovers one vulnerability and patches it, NSO Group just switches to another. It's an arms race where surveillance always stays one step ahead of security. The only way to know if you're infected is forensic analysis by cybersecurity experts. And even then, Pegasus can delete its own traces. It can disappear completely, leaving no evidence it was ever there. You could be infected right now and have no way of knowing. NSO Group isn't alone, they're just the most famous. There's an entire industry of surveillance technology being sold to governments worldwide. Candiru, another Israeli firm, Finfisher from Germany, Circles from Bulgaria, dozens of companies selling spy tools to anyone who can pay. This is the commercial surveillance industry, and it's worth over $12 billion annually. It operates with almost no regulation, no transparency, and no accountability. Companies sell to authoritarian regimes, human rights abusers, and governments that use these tools to crush dissent. And it's all perfectly legal. Right now, there are thousands of journalists, activists, and dissidents being surveilled by Pegasus. Their phones have been turned into tracking devices. Their private conversations are being read by government agents. Their movements are being monitored in real time. And the company that made this possible, they're still operating, still selling, still claiming they're making the world safer. Your phone is the most intimate device you own. It knows everything about you. Where you go, who you talk to, what you think, what you fear. And companies like NSO Group have proven that this device can be turned into a weapon, not against terrorists, not against criminals, but against people who ask questions, people who challenge power, people who refuse to be silent. The next time you look at your phone, remember, someone might be looking back.